I posted something, my journey in accepting my true authentic self as I allow it to be. So the whole thought, okay, so I forget exactly how it started, but I asked myself a question: how do I know I am who I am, and what does it mean for me to be my true authentic self? And this thought process was inspired by a reflection on my happiness. Someone asked me when they asked why am I happy, and I instinctively said, well, it's because I choose to be happy. That was like the first thing that came to my mind. They asked me, why are you happy? I said, I choose to be happy. So they asked me, so does that mean that you can also choose to be angry? And my response was, absolutely. So they came up with the whatever the not argument, because we don't really argue, but they came up with a opinion that sometimes things just are. They just exist. And it was really interesting because I wanted to almost use that opinion as an excuse, because the other day I got angry at a situation and I felt guilty for getting angry because I blamed myself for my emotion. It was my choice. I believe deep down inside that my emotions are my choice. So I started to ask myself, what was it in me that made me angry towards that person? And or what did I see in that person that made me angry, or the situation that made me angry? So I covered it up because I remember what this person said. And I said, well, you know what? Sometimes things just start. I don't know. It just triggered something. But then I started to realize, you know what? That's just a really, I was going to say shitty, but I'm not going to, because my friend asked me not to swear so much on these videos. So I will say really poopy. That was a really poopy excuse. Yes, that was a really poopy excuse. So I'm deciding to break down the possibility that we have no choice over some of our emotions. Sometimes that they just exist completely on their own accord. I'm just walking down the street and bam, that's your emotion. Just go with it. Okay, so we're going to break that down. Usually, anytime that I break things down, I do something called thought stopping, and I kind of reevaluate stuff, and I always have to see it on paper. So sometimes so in this case, we're going to take a piece of paper, cha-ching, 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 dealing with emotions, right? On top of the piece of paper, we're going to put the subject, emotions. That's their subject, and then we're going to ask a question. I love asking myself questions. It's amazing. So my subject is emotion. Now I'm going to ask myself the question. Okay, so what should I put in the question? What are some things? Okay, so we're going to put, what are things that can influence my emotions? Bam! Cha-ching! What are things that can influence my emotion? Now I have a line across it. I'm going to make a T. We're going to go, bam. I'm going to put two categories, which I don't necessarily always agree with. Two categories, positive, negatives, yin, yang, blah, blah, blah. But we're going to do that. We're going to do that for this one. Not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with yin, yang, and all that other positive, negative. So I picked three things right off the top of my head, and I've done this already. I'm just kind of going over this whole process with you guys. Positive, negative. Three things. First thing, a huge positive influence, my dog. Love my dog. I cuddle with my dogs all the time. They give me emotional support. I can take them for walks anytime I just need some company. All I got to do is talk to my dogs, and they never argue with me. So they're the only people that can put up with my shit. So dogs, bam. Oh, sorry, I mean poop. Poop. Put up with my poop. Or whatever. I don't care. Okay, so dogs. Number two, friends. Bam! You know what? I got beautiful friends. I can go and talk to my friends whenever I want. If I need something, hey friend, let's go freaking do that. I got so many freaking friends around me. I have a great support system. Love my friends. Friends give me positive emotion all the time. Friends. Next thing, weather. Oh, I love the warm weather, the sun, the beautiful, everything about the weather. Cha-ching! Bam. Then I look at the negative emotions. Okay, so what are some things that are negative emotions? Oh man, you know what? Sometimes it's really gloomy outside and it's freezing. It's supposed to be minus 20 degrees tomorrow. I like walking around in t-shirt and shorts. 20 degrees, so weather can bring down negative emotion. I'd probably get a downer. So there's weather. What are other things? You know what? I could probably think of maybe my friends. There's been a couple of situations where I'm there for my friends and I'm like blah blah blah, and then I realize that they're not as there for me. So the same people that are positive with me could be negative with me. So friends is my negative emotion. And then last but not least, I doubt this would ever happen, but let's assume that my dog was pooping all over the place. Dogs could be a negative emotion too. Yin yang. See that? Same things that are positive, same things that are negative. Of course, this is just a made-up list. You can do this with anything. I could come up with different things on positive. I could come up with different things on negatives. But the point of the matter is that these are outside objects. These are outside objects. These things, they can't influence my emotions. So what I've discovered is that, so in allowing my authentic self to be and reflecting on who I am, I have to redirect the questions to, from can I choose my emotions to can I choose my perception that guides my emotions? And that's where choice comes into play. So am I capable of choosing my perception? Or does my perception come like it just is? It's just natural. Something just, you know what? This is your perception. Freaking go with it. Deal with the emotion that comes with it. And that's just who you are. Go with that perception. Or can I be like, you know what? I'm not really feeling that kind of perception right now. I want to reevaluate that perception and I want to change that perception. Am I capable of doing that? So out comes a piece of paper again, and then we're going to go with perception. Except